stories fade with time, buried beneath silence, lost in forgotten files, or dismissed as mysteries that will never be solved. But behind every case is a voice that was never heard, a truth still waiting in the dark. This channel is dedicated to the victims, the unanswered questions, and the stories that refuse to disappear. Because somewhere, someone still knows what happened. Welcome to Cries Unheard in the Darkness. Friday, November 17th, 1978, Speedway, Indiana. The air is cold, smelling of rain and wood smoke. At the Burger Chef on Crawfordsville Road, the lights are still on. Inside, 4 teenagers are counting down the minutes until they can go home. Jane Freet, 20 years old. Ruth Shelton, 17 years old. Danny Davis, 16 years old. And Mark Flemons, 16 years old. At midnight, the restaurant is found empty. The safe is hanging open. The back door is ajar. But there's no blood, no signs of a struggle. Just $581 missing and 4 kids who have vanished into the Indiana night. Because there was no immediate evidence of violence, police made a fatal assumption. They thought the kids took the money and ran. They treated a mass kidnapping like a petty theft. Around 7 a.m. on Saturday, police allowed the morning crew to come in and clean. Employees mopped the floors, wiped down the safe, and scrubbed the back door handle. Fingerprints, DNA, and hair fibers, everything the killers left behind was washed away before a single forensic photo was taken. It wasn't until Saturday afternoon, when Jane's car was found blocks away, that the realization set in. These weren't runaways. They were victims, and the trail was already cold. Sunday, November 19th. The mystery turned into a nightmare. 20 miles away in Johnson County, 2 hikers found the bodies. The brutality was inconsistent, which suggests multiple killers and a loss of control. Why take them? Most robberies end the moment the safe is empty. But the Burger Chef killers chose to transport 4 people across county lines. Moving 4 people requires a specific level of control. It suggests at least 2 vehicles or 1 large van was used. Danny and Ruth were shot multiple times with a .38 caliber weapon. Jane was stabbed. The attack was so violent the knife handle broke off. The blade was later found during the autopsy. Mark wasn't shot or stabbed. He ran. He was beaten with a blunt object, potentially a chain, and died from choking on his own blood in the dark. $581 was gone from the safe, but the killers didn't take the victims, watches, or the money in their wallets. This wasn't about the money anymore. It was about silence. Police identified a group of individuals who had been targeting restaurants in the Midwest. They fit the MO: closing time, backdoor entry, and safe extraction. An eyewitness saw 2 men in a car outside the Burger Chef. One had a prominent beard. When police identified a suspect fitting this description, they scheduled a lineup. The night before the lineup, the suspect did something that screamed guilt. He shaved a beard he had worn for 5 years. Without the facial hair, the eyewitness couldn't provide a positive ID. He walked free. Years later, an inmate named Donald Forrester confessed. He knew details only the killer would know, specifically the broken knife handle. He even led police to a septic tank where they found .38 caliber shell casings. But the lead died when Forrester recanted, terrified of his accomplices. He died in 2006, taking his secrets to the grave. For decades, there was nothing but a cold file in a police basement. How does a community heal from a 47-year-old wound? In 2018, the community of Speedway decided to fix that. They raised money, reaching their goal in less than 24 hours, to plant a living memorial, 4 red oak trees, 1 for each life lost that night. These trees grow every year, a biological defiance of the violence that took them. There is a marble bench there now, where you can sit and look at these trees. It's a place for the families to finally have a home for their grief. The case remains open. With the rise of investigative genetic genealogy, the Indiana State Police still have some physical evidence. They are looking for a touch DNA profile on the clothing or the shell casings. The clock is ticking for the perpetrators, many of whom may already be deceased. But for the families, the goal remains the same. They want names. Until then, we remember the 4 kids from the burger chef, because their lives were worth so much more than $581. If you have any information regarding this case, please contact the Indiana State Police. Thanks for listening to Cries, Unheard in the Darkness. If this story stayed with you, you're not alone. Like and subscribe, because the darkness always has more to say. Until next time, listen carefully.